Tau ai o nuku, tau ai o rangi, tau mai te ira atua, tau mai te ira tangata, ko ngā pau o te ao, ka tiritiria, ki te whenua, ki te rangi, tau mai te mauri, haumie, huie, tae ki e.
Kia ora whanau, Renee Wickliffe here from the Black Ferns. I'm pretty much here to talk to you all about my life, about my journey and how I got to where I am today. So, my name's Renee. I'm from Paeroa, a little town, little community, born and raised there. Love Paeroa, it's my hometown. Like everyone else, they love, they're real passionate about where they're from, and I've moved around a few places, and I always call Paeroa home. It's really close to my heart. So growing up, Mum and Dad were real hard workers. They always made sure that there was enough food in the pantry for us. And then I guess they also had enough to buy what they wanted and what they thought they needed. It was alcohol. I remember growing up, I'd come home from school and, there'd be parties out on the back deck and, a lot of people around home. And for me, I thought that was just normal. There was no violence involved. It's just a lot of drinking. And like I said, I just thought it was normal. Mum and Dad would always be out at the pubs and stuff like that. I'll be home looking after my younger brother. And, I was fine with that. I think, just like I said, I thought it was normal. And now when I think about it, it was quite sad in a sense, because we didn't really get to hang out with them as much as we would have loved to. And I think by them drinking and us being home, I guess that was their way of hanging out with us. That's just what I thought anyway. But so growing up, we're surrounded around I'd say a lot of alcohol. Once I started to get older, I got introduced to drugs, and I did a lot of drugs and drank a lot and stole, and again, I just thought that was normal, and just hanging around the people that I was with at the time, they were doing the exact same thing. So I thought, again, normal, I guess too, growing up in a small community, there wasn't really much to do other than what I thought was again normal, just stealing and, smoking drugs and drinking alcohol and all that sort of stuff. It's crazy because I think about it now and it's like, man, how did I get out of that? So, and that's a question, like, how did I get out of that, and how did I get to where I am today? So I always knew I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. I was really passionate about sports, anything that'll keep me active. And I think while I was doing drugs and alcohol, I was always active. I was competitive too, and I always wanted to play sports. And if there was a ball around or something, I would always pick it up and, want to play. So I think for me, that kind of saved me in some way. When I left school, when I finished school, I wasn't actually sure what I wanted to do. But I knew I needed to get out of Paeroa. So that's exactly what I done. I moved to Auckland and I studied at New Zealand Institute of Sport. And again, because sport was, I was real passionate about it, I thought I'd pursue my career in something to do with sports. And so, I moved up to Auckland, stayed with my auntie for about a year or two, studied at New Zealand Institute of Sport. And then from there, while I was living up in Auckland, I was playing a lot of league, I was playing a lot of rugby, touch, you name it. I was just trying to get active again, because when you're at school, you get given all these sports, but when you leave school, you got to try and find a way to play rugby or league or basketball or some sort of sport just to keep active. So what I done was I just signed up with a rugby club up there, a league club. I had a lot of friends up there that I knew who would help support me in clubs and stuff like that. So that was easy for me to join. And then while I was living up in Auckland, I actually got approached from a lady, Chantel Baker, at the time, and she asked if I wanted to go to England for 6 months. So that was crazy. So like I said earlier, like I was when I was living in Pairo, small community, small Māori girl from a small community, doing drugs and alcohol and, all that stuff that I thought was normal. Moved to Auckland, and then there was the opportunity, was when I left my hometown. So this lady asked me if I wanted to go to England for 6 months on a rugby contract. At first I didn't know what the heck was going on. But, like when you get given an opportunity like that, you have to say yes, because that's your way out kind of thing. And so that's what I done. I took it with two hands. I went to England for 6 months. I had to learn real quick how to become an adult, I guess, and how to wash my clothes, I wash the dishes, like look after myself basically. And because I was there over Christmas period, over New Year's, so it was real hard for me, and I didn't know anyone there. I had to learn their culture, I had to learn their ways, and that was really difficult. But I stuck in it. I played rugby. I loved playing rugby. I got paid to play rugby, and it was an experience, and it's something that I'll will always be grateful for, just taking that leap of faith and grabbing that opportunity with two hands, because I feel like if I didn't, I would be going around in circles and not knowing what I was going to do with my life. So when I came back to New Zealand, I then played a bit of rugby when I got back, and then I made debut for the Black Ferns 2009, and for the Black Ferns Sevens team. So crazy, because I said earlier, like if I didn't take that opportunity, I probably wouldn't even get back and make any representative teams. So I debuted for the Black Ferns then, 2009, and for the New Zealand Rugby Sevens team, Women's Sevens team, and then also won the Māori Sportswoman of the Year that year. And then from there, I think everything just started to rise up a little bit, and I started to think clearly about what I wanted to do with my life. Once I represented my country, I was then representing my family back at home. I was representing my clubs, every team that I played for. I was then representing myself, so that made me think, flip, and I've got to be a role model. And so that was a big thing. And when you get given this brand, it's so special. It's pretty much unbreakable. Like it's hard to explain, but you don't want to disappoint anyone or those that have helped you along the way. You don't want to disappoint yourself, because you worked really hard to get this. So that's why I wanted to continue striving. I didn't want to go backwards, because that's not what I wanted to do with my life. So yeah, I played a bit of Black Ferns and stuff like that, and then 2012 I had my daughter, who is now 7. So she's 7 now, and I think after having her, everything just started, like I just started to see things a lot more clearer than before I had her. Before I had my daughter, I was determined to train. I was determined to perform. I was selfish at times that I wouldn't go home or anything like that, but now I've got a different perspective. Everything I do in life and everything I do with my job, with playing rugby, is for a purpose, and my purpose and my why now is my daughter. And she keeps me motivated, she keeps me going, she's the reason why I wake up in the mornings to do the mahi, because when I was growing up, Yep, my mum and dad worked hard, but they were drinking a lot and stuff. And you know, I love my mum and dad to bits. They're both past now, but yeah, I loved them to bits. But I just wanted a different, I guess, different way of life for my daughter's upbringing. And it's pretty cool at the moment because I train hard. Me and my partner train hard, and my daughter sees us training, and when she sees that, she wants to join in. And for me, that motivates me. That pushes me to become a better person, to become a better mother, to become a better athlete, to become a better role model. So that's a bit about myself. I've been to a few women's prisons, and I've told them a bit about my story and my upbringing and stuff like that, and where I got to and where I am today. But I do encourage you all, whatever it is in life, I always look at what is my why. And I said it earlier before that my why is my family, my why is my daughter. They're the reason why I wake up. They're the reason why I want to get motivated to be active, to train hard, to become a better mother, to become a better person. So I guess what I'll leave with you is find out what your why is. If something's not going right during that day, write it down, put it on your wall. Keep looking at that reason. Keep reflecting and looking at your why. I guess for some it might not work, but you know, you can try it. But that's usually what I look forward to, and I hope this, whatever I have shared, I hope it has helped you in any way. I do ask that if you have any questions or any concerns or any help in terms of training or anything, like any questions, just let me know or let Tony know, and I'm happy to help. Anyway, kia ora whanau. Thank you for listening to me, and I'm happy to answer any questions or anything like that. I hope whatever I have shared with you, that you will write down a couple of things, because I know that if I can do it, you can do it. Kia ora.